Okay, so it's like 3:30 in the morning on Friday, the 24th. I think the 24th and 25th is supposed to be this big alignment thing going with the planets. It's supposed to change everything in our world. I fucking hope so, man. Fuck. Oh my God, I cannot believe, like, I sometimes when I get really hung up on like how long this has been going on for me, I get like really irritated. It's like, are you motherfucking kidding me? Like, this has been going on for me for a long time. Like, people are just waking up and stuff, but it's like, this has been going a long ass time. And, oh, man, for a long time, people just thinking that you're crazy, you can't talk to me. I don't know. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of the shenanigans. I'm sick of the bullshit. I fucking hope this is finally something that's gonna turn. Like, I know he's going to town. Like, he's doing press conferences all day, every fucking day, writing EOs and all this stuff. And I don't know if it's like he's giving lessons too. But a lot of people who need him aren't listening. But the people who are listening are the ones who need it. So, but there's still a whole group of people who don't see the truth. So things are going to keep playing out, obviously, because the truth is coming in hot. And so all the different things he's saying he's going to expose and do, and then you got all these people who just go through, like, they don't trust this person, they don't trust that person, they don't trust this person. So many people think like this is a big, like, this is the thing we needed to worry about. It's like, no, this is where change is going to occur. This is where things are going to break loose. This is where arrests are going to start happening. And supposedly there's a whole bunch of stuff going. So anyways, so yesterday, I couldn't believe it. So yesterday I did the video in the morning, and then I thought, okay, this is just this one video. It should go real quick. I should be on by the time I get down there to the gas station at 5 Mile. It should already be almost done. And then I should be able to turn around and come back, because I was basing it on the timing from the day before. And so in the day before, I had all of my data, but it was supposed to renew on the 23rd. And this whole thing with data and towers and stuff, like, it's shenanigans. It's just shenanigans. I don't even know what else to say. If the data made such a difference, then why doesn't it download my videos here? And so anyways, so when I go and I'm driving and it is like 1% downloaded by the time I get all the way up there, I'm like, are you motherfucking kidding me? What the fuck, man? Oh my God, I was irritated. And so I started another video thinking like, well, maybe it would go faster. Maybe something happened with this one, because that happens sometimes. And so I started another one, and then I was like, well, maybe it's going faster. So I'll delete this other one that was at 4%. And this one's at 1%. So I'll see if this one goes faster. And it just went just as slow. So then I went up, I drove up to Safeway, I sat there, it was going so slow, so slow. I'm like, oh my God. I drove to the mall, drove around the mall, and this was way before anything was open. It's like 8 in the morning. And I'm, thinking I'm going to be back like in a half hour. And so I go up there and I'm driving and driving. Now it's getting to be like an hour. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like at 20%. I'm like, what in the fuck? I was getting so fucking irritated. And so then I drove back over to Safeway, drove to Starbucks, signed into theirs, which does nothing. It's just as slow. Signed into different places. It's just as slow. And then went back to Safeway, because it seems like Safeway it goes the fastest at Safeway every time. And so went back to Safeway like 3 or 4 times. Finally, I had to go pee, and I was starving. So I didn't have my wallet or anything. I seriously thought I was zipping out. And then I remembered, I could use Apple Pay and have $10. Now I have $9 in my account. So I got a donut, went and go pee. And oh my God, when I was standing to go pee, it was the weirdest thing. It was the bathroom was in the employee at Safeway, in their break room. You had to go in their break room to go to the bathroom. And then, and I'm standing there waiting. And there's a woman in there for so long. I couldn't believe it. But time is off on me or something. I don't know. It was so fucking long. So, finally, she comes out. I go in. I come out, go back to the car, and it's like 50% or something, 40% or something. And I'm just like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. It's been a couple hours now. And so then I was irritated, and I was needed to vent. So I messaged my mom, and she didn't even know I had gone. I was like, I thought I was going to be gone a couple minutes, and now it's been hours. And so then she's always like trying to solve it for me or whatever. It's like, so she said T-Mobile was going to open at 10, and it was right there. And time just kept going and going and going to finally to the point where it was like 10. I may as well go over there. And so at this point, it's 3 hours of downloading. So I go over there, and it's at, I don't know, 46% or something. And then I go in. I have to sit out there for a half hour and wait because it is not open yet. And the guy's in there just doing stuff. So I was just sitting out there, and there was a car. There wasn't very many cars, but I was thinking, this must be one of the employees' cars, and they took the front parking place. So I was sitting across from it, and it was this big white SUV, and it was sitting there empty, the whole time I was sitting there. And whatever I was doing, I don't know, but at some point I look up, and it looks like this energy is coming out of their car. And so it looks like energy is coming out of their car. So I'm sitting there trying to figure out, like, where is this coming from? Like, you can see it, and then you can see it so much that anything behind it is all wiggly. And but it looks totally like it's coming out of their passenger side thing. And so I keep thinking, like how could that be where it's coming out like that? And it was weird. It was like this weird breaking point in the energy or something, and it was making this door back behind it real wiggly and stuff. It just looked so weird. And so I did this video showing it. By the time I saw my comments and stuff, it was like 10 comments of all telling me how stupid I was, that it was the heat coming off of the car that was causing it. And I wasn't even gonna, I am so fucking sick of people who just, they got nothing nice to say, but as soon as they find an opportunity to try and find a place to slide in how stupid you are, they are quick on the fucking, their go, boy. They can't wait to go and comment. If they can tell somebody that they think they're stupid, it's like makes their day, man. It's like they just go looking for things to just be rude. It's the weirdest fucking thing. And it's not even a conversation. It's not even anything. Not even thinking that I would understand, that I would notice the heat was coming off of a car. It was coming out of the side of the car. It was not coming off. And we were sitting out there. It's in the teens degrees. And we're sitting there and the cars aren't running. My car ran for a little, so I had heat. But at some point I turned off the car. I would know if the heat was coming from the car. I would be able to see the heat coming from the car. So if it was coming off of the car, it was a total optical illusion. You couldn't see it coming off of the car. You could see it coming off of the car that was ahead of you, coming out of the side. And then the building back behind it. It was the weirdest looking thing. And I was looking and trying, but people don't even ask you anything. All they want to do is tell you that you're stupid. So I just took that video down and was like, there's only so much bullshit and asshole people that you can deal with in a day. It's like, I don't even care. You don't even, okay, everything's normal. Everything's normal. And the videos of the sky I've been getting out here are insane. I can't even believe it. It is so fucking orange on parts. Stella, please stop. Where are you? What are you doing? Where are you? Stella, come out here. They're probably blocking the door of the tent, and she can't walk over them because that would be mean. She surely couldn't do that, no matter how many times I say, just go and it will move. And Max will just sit there and stare at you like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's the problem? Stella, just walk past him. Just walk past him. Everything I've got to do for this child. Oh my God. She's not going to stop until I go do it, so hold on. Jesus Christ. Come on. Turn around and come out here. What are you doing? I am busy. Where are you? Come on. What is your problem? Come out here and lay down. Oh my God. This is the fuckery I talk about. This is just nonstop fuckery. I swear to God, I can't even believe it. Now I gotta try and go through these things and get back in here. Jesus Christ. I don't even know what the fuck she wants. So she just got up and moved around and went laid back down. So I don't know. This is, oh God, I'm so fed up with the fuckery, man. It's just nonstop, just bullshit stuff, man. Anyway, so the nonsense with whatever, the heat coming off of my car that looked like it was coming off of a different car that I thought was energy movement or whatever. And it's just so weird. I just can't believe how rude people are. And whatever it was, to me, it was some kind of an optical illusion to me. It looked weird as fuck. And I've seen so many weird things. And those geese still keep being over there, and they're so loud. Man, yesterday it seemed like that they all left because it seemed quiet, but then I swear to God, I just heard them again. So I don't know, they're very loud when they're going. It's like, oh my gosh, that is so crazy. And always when the night starts, there's barely anything in the sky. And then when I go out at this time and open them to go out to go to the bathroom and stuff, it's so much stuff in the sky. I start flashing the light, trying to get somebody to communicate with me. Nobody ever does. Nobody ever flies down. Hey, Kelly, what's up? Also, yeah, there was a thing that I saw a guy talking about on a podcast where I don't know, I think they're brothers or something, this podcast, and they're talking about the orbs, the drone, all that stuff, and saying about the orbs. Oh my God, now my nose is just running like crazy. The orbs are shape-shifting or something. But that is what I have been saying. The orbs, the energy balls is what we all are. That's what we all are. So all of the orbs is what we are when we're not being seen as something like this. So that's what we all look like. So that's what's so ridiculous when people get caught up of what this looks like, because so many people get caught up with this looks like and forget about what you really look like, and they let that become ugly. And so that to me shines through more. If you've got ugliness inside, then it's going to show to people, kind of like what's going on with Blake Lively. Like, she's just being so exposed once again with her shenanigans or something, with the lies or whatever. Just trying to throw somebody else under the bus so that, you look like the good guy. That's bad karma. It's like not good. Oh yeah, what was that? I'll have to think of what that was, because it was I keep seeing these things where it's like, man, this is such soul entanglements, like these soul entanglements. Oh yeah, one I just saw. So anyways, let me think if I had finished saying what I was going to say about, I don't know, now this other thing's sticking out to me, because I saw this girl this morning. I went on and looked, because I've been up since like 1:30, and I thought I would go back to sleep, and so I got my phone, I took a couple hits of a joint, and I was like, maybe I can go back to sleep. I looked at my messages and stuff, And then by the time I started to relax and go back to sleep, like around 2:30, Stella was like, "Okay, it's time to get up." And she's starving. She got up starving. They've already eaten, and already had treats, already eaten, already went out, all of that stuff. And so the so the she woke up so anyways, I got up and made my tea and whatnot. And yeah, so when I was in there, I looked at some TikToks when I was trying to relax, go back to sleep. And the this one that I saw, so it was a young girl. You see so many of these. As a young girl, young mom, and she's crying because it's so hard. It's like, man, if the people could just merge this energy and see that it was so hard on your parents, it was so hard on their parents. Like this is something that goes. So why are you holding it against anybody else when it's just as hard once you get into that role? Whenever you step into that role, it's fucking hard. And people just don't know what's coming. They don't see what's coming. They don't understand, and it's a whole soul entanglement. It's a whole dance playing out. And when you got several kids, you got several dances going, and your dance card's full. No wonder you're tired. No wonder you're overwhelmed. And then this world wants to keep you running on the fucking, yeah, running on a haystack or something. It's all falling apart, and you're fucking going to town and just going in circles, never getting anywhere, never accomplishing anything, just wearing yourself out all the fucking time. So no wonder people are drained. And then on top of it, they take the food and they reduce the mineral or anything that's good in it, any nutrition. They've done all this on purpose. Like, it's weird when you go and listen to this stuff they've done to, like, to rice, to wheat, to all these things. And when they took all the nutrition out, and they've spoiled all the soil, and they keep using it and spraying it, and then they put it in the air and stuff. So anyways, they get it to where we're just sickly. Oh yeah, and that's what that guy Ellison, I don't know, there's a whole weird thing about this one guy, but I don't know. I'll just remember, this is the thing that I just carry along this path is when Donald brings somebody on the stage, when the name is entered into our thing, it is for exposure. It's to expose something. It could be good, something good, but it can be some crimes that these people are involved in. And so everything and everyone that comes in, that's what it's about. The ones that are going to stay, they're going to end up being good guys. I don't know. I still don't know about Elon. I don't know. I don't think he's doing the Heil thing, though. I think that was ridiculous. I think he was hitting his heart and throwing his, like, love. Like, I'm so excited. Everybody spread the love. Like, I think he was doing something like that, not that. I just think, like, how did that, this comes from inside people. What you see, what you perceive comes from within. So it's like a lot of people are full of a lot of hate and don't trust and stuff like that, and they're going to confirm those biases to themselves by what they see. And so you got to just take notice, like maybe you're perceiving somebody off, but on a lot of these characters, you just got to stand back and watch. You got to stand back and watch it play out and see what goes down. Like, we can't figure it out ahead. All I can tell you is that this guy brings people on stage to expose them. Like, I think I figured that out with Pence, was that guy. But also, man, it was just when I started listening to him and watching him, and he was bringing these people up on the stage, and they were lying through their teeth, and I knew it. And I was like, he's trapping them in their fucking own words, because he would ask all the right questions. It was almost like he was doing a, what is that called before you go to court? And you have to go in with the lawyers, and you have to get everything in writing so that they can fucking pull from it. Well, on this date, you said this. Well, this is what you said this day. And they do that to somebody with a brain injury. It's like, well, I don't fucking know what I fucking said yesterday. I don't know what I said 10 minutes ago, dude. So shut the fuck up. So, anyways, that's what I recognized when Donald had him up there in 2020, when he was pulling them all on there, the fraud, all those motherfuckers. And then that one guy, the director producer guy that was a part of it too. Like, it was so obvious. And then it was like, oh, he's bringing people up that we don't, they're back in the shadows. We don't know who they are. And he's exposing their crimes to us. It was so obvious. So that's still occurring. So when he's bringing people on, like, I don't know about this Ellisonville or whatever. Everything is gotta just, you watch it play out and know that if he's done some bad shit, he's about to be on the stage and be shown to us all. So that's what, is occurring. And so, anyways, so I go on the thing this morning to see this video of this girl, this young mom, and she's crying. And she's got the prettiest blue eyes. She's got these really, really light blue eyes and this black hair. And she didn't have any makeup on or anything. She almost looked like Snow White or something, sitting there crying. And she had this big fluffy coat on with all the fur around here or something. She looked very, very fairy tale-ish, like, and she's crying and she's talking about these three-dimensional issues. So she's got a little kid. She's on her way to daycare because he got kicked out. He's been there an hour. She's a manager. She's got to work. She's just bought a house. She's got to work. She's got to make money. And now he can't even be at daycare for an hour before he's beating up a teacher or beating up another student, taking off and running away or whatever. He's just this constant. And so she's bawling. She's just like, I don't know what to do. This is so hard. I can't believe how hard this is. She's trying to get him into the doctor. He's got an appointment so she can get a diagnosis and get him on medication possibly. It's like, this is not what you want to do. I told her in the comments too. Don't do that. Like, God, I wish people understood more about spiritual shit. God, everybody's so three-dimensional. Ugh. So she wanted to get his diagnosis and go find out what the fuck's wrong with him so she can, pill it out of him. And and he's so rotten. He's so bad. She can't deal with it anymore. She doesn't even know what to do. And I've seen some of these where these people have got these adult kid or older teenager kids that, where they even, that one guy was like, he's stalking the neighbor's family and he said he wants to kill things. Like, that's all he talks about. And like, that would be scary to have a kid like that. And it's going to develop into worse when you've got them surrounded by more dark energy. The dark energy is going to feed into that, and they are going to feed off of that. And it's going to build. It's going to go. And they've got to become aware of what this place is spiritually. Like, people have got to start understanding what this place is spiritually, what you're doing here. Your conversations change. It's not the same thing. She's like, well, I've tried punishing him. I've even spanked him. I've put him in timeout. I've tried reasoning with him. I've tried all these things. And one thing that she said that I thought was important is she said, at home, he's always does good. He doesn't have any problems. It's only when he goes out. Right there, that's a huge sign he's got horrible anxiety when he's away from you. Just like when the dogs, like, you leave to go and your dog suddenly becomes mental. Like, I've seen where people's dogs have jumped out their windows, broken their windows. I had one that tore up all the furniture. But yeah, they can have horrible anxiety. So you think about kids, when you're dropping them off somewhere where they don't know these people, they don't trust these people, and you have soul interactions. Like, all the souls that they are coming across are souls that they have experiences with. Everybody, it's not, oh, well, they're kids. That just starts later, doesn't it? No, it starts from the time you're birthed in. You're birthed in to a situation to have your experience, to build you into a certain character. And to me, the character we build into is the character we want to break down. And we want to figure out who we are underneath it all. And that is just in this time period. I'm not saying that's all of life, forever and ever. I'm saying here, now, in this time period of what we're experiencing. And so this lady, like, if you want to approach this to me, like, in a more spiritual manner, you want to talk to them on a spiritual level. You want to talk to them about, what do you think you're doing here? What do you feel when you're around these people? Who out of these people makes you feel a threat? Like, get down and dirty with them. Don't act like they're kids and they don't know what the fuck's going on. They're a goddamn orb. They're an orb, just like you. We're all orbs. We're all orbs. There's no fucking date and time on these orbs. We're all just a bunch of fucking orbs. And I've told it before, I've said it before, some of these orbs have the capabilities of putting in together, all of them forming a ship around them, or turning into whatever they want to look like. I've been talking about that for a long time, and that is what they can do. It's like shape-shifting, and they have got more abilities. We're just learning about these. We're just going into that, even though as orbs, we already can do that. We already can do that. We're going into another level. We're going into a mastery level. We're going into a birthplace, and we're going to learn how to do it through this other way. And so we are learning more than what we knew before. But we already have these capabilities. We're already on this soul level. It's not like, well, we're already souls. We're doing another advancement. We're advancing human mankind and stuff, which also, besides the China videos where it's so high tech and stuff, now there's ones coming out with Iraq, and it's coming out. And I have said for however long, I've said all this stuff for so long, it's just so stupid. But over in Saudi Arabia, in some of these other places, some of these beings are from other places. They aren't the same. We're not all the same beings. There's all different levels. They're all, like, you got to think about this planet was being colonized. There's all different beings, just like when they came over here and tried to take over America. They had, Dutch people over here. They had people from the Caribbean, Jamaica, all these different places. They had all these different realities, these different worlds that these people, they weren't interacting with other ones. They had created their own worlds. And so it was all of their group in their own little township, their own little world, their own little created reality. Then these people who want to take over all the realities, take over all the people and consume them, they come in and start putting them under an umbrella, start attacking them all. And so that is what you got to think of, micro, macro, that is how Earth is. Earth has got all these other beings that have come from other places. I don't know what all places, but I think, some of these motherships or whatever are going to probably come and take some of these people home. And it may not be where we see. We may see the storm that takes them out, but they're going back to their homes. They're going back to their people. And when that would be happening, it would be all happening for a purpose. So it would be a reason. It's not anything that you're born into is not by accident. Everything is written. And so it would be written that was how their return was to go back through this way. And so in every way is a portal. Every way is a situation, an entryway. And so those beings, so the ones over in China, to me, they seem like they are from some other colony from somewhere else. Like they've got a whole group of people that are just like them somewhere out in the great unknown, out in the outer lands. They're out there somewhere. There's a whole bunch of people just like them. Then you have the people in the Middle East, which I have said for a long time. Some of these people are not, they're all like human on this one idea. Like they don't know, but it has to do with like their DNA and stuff. And it has to do also with like their situation or something, like how advanced they are. Like it's really been shocking for a lot of people to start realizing, like, oh my God, we're the third world country. We're the third world country. When we all thought we were, everybody's desire to be over here, to be American. But they're all living better. They're living more technology, healthier. Like they've got it, more money, all the money that they have America has been giving everybody has been building all them up, and we've been being drained. And it was so crazy is that the people who are associated with the ones draining us and stuff, like this whole system, they are make money off of us by being drained and being sick. The numbers that I had heard over how much they make off one person off of like CA or any of these diseases off the medication is well over 100K. Some of them it's getting up to closer to 1 million. That's how much you're worth sick, like how much you're worth not sick. So that is and we are under our own situation. We're like the lab rats of this world, and we're not the only ones. Australia, England, there's some certain places that became in England. I think it all has to do with the crown, and in the Vatican too. So the church and the crown have worked together, but there's certain places, like I think like Ireland, Scotland, that's why like England at some point went to go take them over, because the crown is a part of these beings that want to take everything over, who want to swallow us all up and use us up and stuff. So anyways, we're not the only country that is a lab rat situation where they're just making us sick. But it's different. Like in Australia, they're not having all poisonous food. In England, I don't know what their food situation is. Like they say, like they don't have to have all these chemicals and stuff. Like they get without all these chemicals. But there's always been a lot of stuff in their air and stuff. Like a lot of where they even would say like, oh, it's the charcoal, it's from people burning the coal for so long and stuff. So I don't know, they probably were always like they use us as petri dishes, and they do certain things and see how it works, and then they go more mainstream. And so it could even be like certain villages or something, I don't know. They work small, then they go big. And then and we're not the only country. The one thing that's real particular about us, that was this creation of white people that are just stripped of their culture and stuff like that, and forced into certain religions by the parameter of the other people in the community. And it's very, especially, man, just watch old movies of how it was like. Now it's different, but just a few decades ago, it was very, very different. And I grew up in that time, and I remember when I see it in the movies, it's just like, it's kind of cringy, man. Everybody's like, church was like the world, man, for people. When you went against it, like, you know, I was like, it was Satan's sister or something. And then you start saying, yeah, but that person you're worshiping is not God. That's not God. God wouldn't be like this to its own creation. And people always think you're crazy. So you can't tell people stuff. And so anyways, now I'm back on that girl again. So having a kid that has got all these issues, and the best place to start, and don't forget that you're a pair too. You have an entanglement. Somewhere along the line, you guys have been failing each other back and forth. And that's why there's so much drama. That's why there's so much intensity, because it's time for change. But you got to look at it different, because time after time, your souls just keep doing the same shit over and over and over. Like, seriously, people get caught in these entanglements, just killing each other over and over and over, and fucking each other over and over and over. And it's like, I personally think that you're supposed to advance out of that as a soul. Like, you're in a trap. You're in an entanglement. You just got yourself going in circles. And so you want to break these patterns. You want to break free from these patterns. So you've got to indulge into things that feel unfamiliar. When something feels familiar, it's probably because you've done it a zillion times. And so just like the one where somebody who I knew was suicidal, and I said that this is probably something that happens to you all the time. You probably, throughout different lifetimes, you have chosen that out, that you were like, I can't handle this and I'm out. And I said that this is where you got to break that pattern. This is where you got to say, I'm going to fight through this. I'm going to get through it and not go back into your same, you know, like I'm going to take the easy way out. I'm going to take the easy way out. And don't forget, you cannot take the easy way out unless it was always pre-planned. You can't surprise the universe. You can't shock, you know, you can't change the storyline midstream. It's like it can only happen if it's meant to happen. And so but when people have that really strong drive of like, that's what I need to do, that's what I need to do, I think it's because they've done it and they reach that point. But then when you get into your life review, you start seeing these things, and that is, you know, everybody's got their own amount of time to create change for themselves. But everything has to do with awareness, and having to do with awareness spiritually. And just like that girl being so lost and dependent on the medical. And if they give her a diagnosis, what the hell is that going to do? It's going to give this kid a stigma or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, he's the kid with the ODD or OOD or whatever the fuck. And oppositional defiant disorder. Okay, ODD. Which, what does that stand for? Odd. Like, all the stuff they did, like, you know, your attention deficit, something's wrong with you. What gets me is because it was before they'd started having all these diagnoses, but I was one of those kids in class. And to me, it was like the teacher started talking. I would, it was like meditation to me. It was like going into, what is that called? When somebody, hypnotizes you. So when somebody like hypnotizes you through their voice, their calming voice, and then I just would leave. I would just be gone. I would go to other worlds and other places and stuff. And I would have no idea I wasn't in class. And then the bell would ring, and then I would be sucked back into class. And I would be like, and it would be like I was like, I think I was like in a stupor or something, just kind of sitting there like this. And then, but then I would be all of a sudden back in my body, and I would be like, you know, it would be confusing. Like, what's going on? What I was doing? And I would miss out on things all the time. And then don't forget, my guides were telling me not to do the test. I'm telling you, I think my family thought I was needed to be in special ed or something. So, you know, I was getting in trouble all the time. I'd get licks. I would burst out with, you know, things that I thought were funny when everybody would laugh, like in class. I just couldn't hold it back. I had impulsive, but I was super shy and insecure too. But I had lots of friends, lots of people, like everybody knew who I was and would talk to me, but I was still like insecure. And then, I just always felt bad about myself. I always felt like people were going to know. Everybody else's home life was normal. Mine was the only one that wasn't normal, and everybody was going to know something was wrong with mine. And so it would just like eat at me and eat at me. And then, what was I talking about this for? Because I have no idea where I was going with it. But going back over to this girl. Oh, okay. So the diagnosing thing. Okay, so the diagnosing thing, and but I felt like something was wrong with me. Like I knew something was wrong with me. But it's only up until more recent where I was like, oh, that was a gift. They wanted to get control of these things when you can just go and zone out and go leave this world in 1 second flat. That was an indicator to them, like, we need to get a hold of these people. And so I think that is, they started trying to figure out diagnoses and stuff to get a hold of certain people, because everybody has these certain gifts of being able to do things, and they don't want any of us to wake each other up. They don't want any of us to know our own gifts. They don't want any of us to look at ourselves like that we are good at something. They want us to look at ourselves as like we're broken, something's wrong with us. And so anyways, so the diagnosing is, like, to me, not what you want to do. You don't want to go and have a doctor say, well, that's what he's got, but we got some handy little dandies over here. Give him a couple of those every morning and he'll be good to go. And what was that? Oh yeah, because my mom, I said, did you know that they're doing blood pressure? Because my mom had high blood pressure. I said, did you know they're doing blood pressure at the dentist now? And she said, yeah, I know. She said, I went and my blood pressure was too high and I had to sit there until it came down. And I said, yeah, when I went, I sat there listening to some other lady. They wouldn't do her treatments because her blood pressure was up. I was like, how stupid is that? Who the fuck, why would you do blood pressure? At the dentist, everybody's blood pressure is going to be up. And she said, yeah, I told him too. I said, this is stupid. I hate coming here. Of course my blood pressure's up. Why are you doing my blood pressure when I come here? It's going to be up. And they said, well, it's a law now. You have to. Anyone over 13. My mom's like, oh my God, can you believe that? Over 13. And they're doing blood pressures on people at the dentist. And I was like, it's so absurd. It's so stupid. It's just another way to, well, you got high blood pressure. You better go in and see the doctor. Like, that's all they fucking want to do is trap us into a diagnoses and stuff. And people just, they surrender. They pull out the white flag as fast as they can to surrender to a doctor. Well, guess what I have? I've got it. Yeah, I've got it, but I've got the pill. I'm gonna do good on it. It's like, oh my God, oh my gosh. So, anyways, no judgment. Was the same when I was back caught up in the medical system. I even worked in it, and when she told me to take magnesium, I thought she was trying to screw me over. I was like, give me the good stuff. What are you talking about? Take fucking vitamin and that's gonna fix it? I had no clue. And so, yeah, you come a long ways when you start figuring shit out. So all these people who haven't figured it out yet, it's just ahead. They'll figure it out, and that will be, their embarrassment. But so you don't want to get your kid with these labeled with these, and they carry them. It follows them in their charts. It follows them in their school record. And don't forget, even when I went to the doctor on this last one, because they said I had to have a physical, I had to have all these things, I had to jump through a million hoops to get this explant. And so I had to go back to the doctor again and get this fucking physical. And then I had to see the nurse practitioner because the doctor's appointment was too far out. And I'd never seen this lady before. And she was so fucking corporate, I could barely stomach it. It was so, God. And she was fucking going through my chart as hard as she could, looking for, it's like, what do you get, a bonus for how many things you sign your name to today? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? She's going back through old fucking shit. Oh, well, you got this. Well, we got to look into this. So she wanted to retest the Hep C stuff, which all came back as affirmative. Yep, I had Hep C and healed it with no medical intervention. That happened. And she couldn't even stand that. And then the Barrett's. So she was so hung up on this Barrett's esophagus. And that is, like I said, I've got this floppy fucking, look, a lot of people have it, some floppy sphincter in your throat so it doesn't close all the way. And so that allows the acid to come up into your esophagus. And that is what, that's what happened to my vocal cord. It's got scar tissue on it, they said. But it's, that going up into there, it burns it, but it also, the Barrett's esophagus is when the cells move. So you got esophageal cells in your bronchial or something like that. And so the wrong cells are in the wrong place, which they consider the CA, because that's what starts creating TUMORs. And because it encapsulates the thing that is misplaced. And so that was considered CA in my throat back, and I had to go and get tested all the time until it was cleared. Then it cleared, and they couldn't find it anymore. But obviously, see, this stuff fucking 20 years later, they're still going in there trying to pull it up. They still go in there and try and find anything they can. And they use medications against you were ever on and stuff. It's all shenanigans. They want you on all these things, and then they use them against you. It's just shenanigans. And you don't want to get your kid going on that right out the fucking barrel. So to me, is, talking to your child, realizing that this is a spiritual entanglement. They are there to challenge certain things in you. You're there, like, everybody's got to figure out their own, because they're very complex, they're complicated. And the different things that you are showing or teaching each other, it can be a lifetime after. That's why, to me, you got to go to your guidance. You got to go to your guides and start saying, what's going on here? What am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to be handling this? Don't go to the fucking doctor. Go to your goddamn guides. Don't go in meditation and ask them. Ask your fucking higher self, what am I supposed to be doing here? What's the plan? How do I get out of this entanglement? How do I make this better? And then you start going at it from that angle with the kid, but you have to also recognize they've got other entanglements out there. When they're feeling stressed being around somebody, it's for a reason. And so I think we're not meant to be just sending our kids out at 4 or 5 years old out on their own in the world. Here, take off, go. I think that there's things in the world that are showing us, like, and there's been so much stuff with daycares and stuff, so many bad things that have gone on and been exposed. It's like, yeah, I don't think we're meant to live like that at all. We're meant to live different, but we succumb, and people will start trying to make it fit. Like, you got to go to daycare. I bought a house, and I've got to pay this. I got to, and so it becomes a lifestyle, but it becomes lifestyle choices that are really bitter on us, that aren't good for us, because the spiritual one is going to give you a completion. It's going to give you purpose. It's going to give you peace of mind and stuff. And so you go and you spend time in reflection or meditation or whatever, and you're asking your guides, what's going on? How do I manage this situation? You'll get guidance. They'll tell you. I've always gotten it. They've always told me, which I thought this was kind of strange too. And so yesterday my mom gave me, I don't think you can see it back here. That's where I make my tea, is with the lights on. But let's see, right here, these are these big shelf things from Home Depot. They are from Home Depot. They've even got, once I go and look, they've even got Home Depot tags on them for prices. I mean, stepdad worked there, so I don't know. They must have been getting new shelves, and they let him take some. They're so big and heavy. But anyway, so she's got those with her, stuff organized on it or whatever. And so I have some stuff sitting here. And she gave me this dress yesterday that was my grandma's. And she, it was a dress that she wore, I don't know, something about nursing school maybe. It looks kind of like a sailor dress to me. But it is white linen, and just the way it's made, it's so cool. It's like from the 20s or 30s or something, and it's really, really cool, and it fit me. The only thing that was, I think my shoulders are a little bit more wide than my grandma's, and my arms are longer than my grandma's, but the narrowness of my body obviously comes from her, and so that part fit. That part fit me, but I'm gonna wear that dress. It's cute as shit. But anyway, so my mom was giving me that yesterday, and I was up there talking to her, and she, something we were talking about, I don't know, just start talking about the olden days or whatever, and she had said, I said, I remember the house on Marty, and that was the first house I remember living in, was the house on Marty, and that was when I was like 1 year old, and I don't remember when I moved into it, but I was really little, and I remember certain things at the house. Like, I remember certain ways the house was. Like, I remember Mom putting on this movie called The Blob and watching it and going and sitting with her and watching it. Like, I can remember that stuff. So it's so crazy too, because when I was like a young adult or a teenager, I thought I couldn't remember my childhood, and I can remember really distinct things, like from a lot of stuff. And so anyways, we were talking about that house, and I was telling her things, how I remember it was laid out and stuff. She told me like where the bathroom was, and I was like, I don't really remember that. And she said, oh, that was the bathroom that you went in and got soapy water for your brother. And I was like, what do you mean? I said, that happened at Grandpa's house. I remember it specifically. I remember exactly that whole thing. And I didn't start telling her, because she thinks that I'm talking to devils. She doesn't believe that you can communicate with things that have passed. And so, that's always been a situation. She thinks I'm talking to the devils. And so the so I didn't say, that. And I don't remember if I would think I had told them, but I don't think anybody would listen to me. But I mean, it was so specific to me. I remember the whole thing so exact, because we were out on the porch. Whatever I was doing, my mom was sitting next to my step grandma, or my grandpa's wife, Peggy, which my mom told me that Peggy, who also saw herself as a dealer in antiques, went over to all of the old farmhouses that were in my family and took all of the valuable antiques and stuff and sold them all the way back when I was little. And that really pissed off a lot of people in the family. My grandpa's side, like my mom's dad, it was just like I've said before. I don't look at him like a grandpa or anything like that. So it's my mom's dad. And so anyways, but there, when I was sitting there, whatever, I was happy, whatever I was doing. I think I was playing with a doll or something. And then they said I needed to go get my brother a glass of water. And that just pissed me the fuck off. It's like, why do I have to stop what I'm doing and I gotta go get him a glass of water? It's like, that is bullshit. I was so fucking pissed. And I go stomping into this bathroom. I was 3 years old. My brother was 1.5. And I go stomping into this bathroom and I see those little Dixie cups. They told me to get the little Dixie cup and get him some water. I don't even know why he needed water so bad. I don't know why there are all these adults sitting there and nobody can get him goddamn water. And so that shows you kids are not kids. No, we are adult people in a child body. We are all orbs. And orbs don't have an age like what they want to sell you on. And so I go in there and I see the soap and I decide I'm going to swish the soap. So I took the soap and swished it around in the water. And that is when the phenomena happened in my life where the higher mind started speaking to me. And so, or the universe, these beings, whoever the fuck it was. And I thought it was the devil and angels. And I didn't know because I was only 3. And so I didn't know. But they continued to talk to me my whole life. And so, I figured it out. But I still don't quite, like, who are you? What is your name? I just talk to them. And it's just a familiarity, And so and they tell me shit all the time. They've always, like, if I want to get up, they wake me up when I want to get up. They tell me what I want to, like, they're real. I don't know how else to tell people, but they're real. And so, anyways, that is where it started, this, the good and the bad argument, like, where it was like, oh, there's 2 sides. And I was like, it just was it was very big to me when that happened. And so when my mom started telling me yesterday, I went in the bathroom. She told me to go get him a drink of water, and I went in the bathroom and I put soap in it and brought it back, and I got in trouble. I was thinking, I think that she's getting it mixed up with a different time. And she said, oh, you must have done it twice. I was like, I don't think so, because when I remember doing it was maybe I did it at her house second. I don't remember anything about this other incident that she's talking about. I remember the other one perfectly. And so I was thinking she must have it kind of confused over something. Because it was my experience, so I remember it perfectly. And I don't remember getting him soapy water at all at the Marty house. So I remember specifically, I can picture it. And I was, and my grandpa, I had to be careful because they had these big hogs, these big pigs. And if you fell in the pig stall thing, you would get eaten. And so I had to watch out for the pigs. They were going to eat me. And then he had some baby pigs, and he let me name one of the baby pigs, and I named her Penny. And I wanted to change my name to Penny. I wanted to be Penny. I didn't want to be Kelly, so I named the pig Penny. And I have no idea why I like that name so much. And so anyways, I just remember that whole day. I remember that whole time. And this other thing where she was telling me, I was like, I don't remember anything about that. And I don't think I did it twice because I got in trouble when this happened. And so I don't think I would turn around and do it again. And I got such a talking to from the other side. So anyways, it had a very specific thing to me. And so, you know, however she remembers it is how she remembers it. I remember it very much different. But anyways, so that we're not little kids, we are orbs, and we've got a lot. Our orb is like our pattern or our our it's our DNA is what scripts us. It's like your DNA is like your formula. So your orb has its own formula. And so, and we got all these orbs. And so we got all these orbs from all these different places. Some are coming to gather their families. Some are coming to witness. Some are coming to help. It's like a whole bunch of different shit going on. But there's so many different places that are, I believe, that are from another place. And I think, and there's so much of this coming out now where there's like, oh, we live amongst space aliens and all this stuff. I think it's going to come out like there's a lot of people that don't know how strong their heritage is, that they are colonizers from some other place. I think some people will kind of learn that. And I don't know, you know, if some of them kind of do know that and know that they are from other places. I don't know. You know, probably there is some that do feel like, you know, that they are better than humans, or they're more, you know, efficient or smarter or something. But this is human mankind. This is that evolution of mankind. But it's not, we are the orbs playing the roles for mankind to move forward. Like I've said, there's multiple things going on. Your soul is ascending. This reality is ascending. Mankind is evolving. Like there's a lot of shit that is happening. And just because mankind is evolving, that doesn't mean that that is what we are. No, we're playing the roles. We are playing the parts of this evolution. And so it's just so different than how people look at it. And then when people start really recognizing, you know, that we're all orbs and we're all in a get up, so that we have a character. It's like all the orbs are like, well, I want an avatar. Well, I want to look like an avatar. I want to look like this. I want to look like that, or whatever. But you're going to be perceived how you're supposed to be perceived. It is, it's because it's all an illusion. And so it's not like you look the same to everybody, for one thing. You know, people are going to pick up on different things off different people. And there's a lot more about like soul connections and stuff. Like you could have somebody who's like really put off by somebody because of their soul connection, where everybody else just loves this person. And so it's very much your soul's interaction with this. We all have our own specific things. And so this all is an illusion. And all of these ones, there's nothing to fear, because we are orbs. If this body avatar thing were to fade away, you would see an orb sitting here. It was like everybody else. And everybody, no matter what, at some point, they would be an orb. They would be an energetic ball of light. And so even the reptilians or whatever, even if they have been reptilians for 50,000 years, why we've been going through and being all these different things, and they've stayed the same thing in that same, which apparently some of their bodies wear out and they got to change them up or something, or maybe, I don't know, because there's so much stuff about this. The shape shifting is like you putting out what it is, like it's kind of like a ship's veil. It's like you can put out what it is you want to appear as. And so it's like there's beings that have been doing that for a long time. And so, but see, they're not all birthed into these avatars like we are. Some of them, they just can be their orb, and then they can just make themselves look like something. And so, but there's just a lot going on, because we are birthed into this reality, but we are still the orb inside this being, and this being is just an illusion so that we can experience and play a part and go through the experience so we can learn from it. And it's just right now that the experiences are different, because it is the ending of this reality and the beginning of a new one. And there's so many different shifts that are happening. There's so many different, like, I think there's going to be a big amounts of people that are going to be going with, they're all going to leave at the same time. They're all just going to leave at the same time. And I don't know. I mean, it could be some in California too. Like, fucking hell, they're hitting California so hard. More fires. Like, every day. It's just like more fires and more fires. This is so ridiculous. This is fucking January. It's lighting up, not even fire season, and fucking burning the whole motherfucking place down. And there's always, oh, there's accelerant. It's because they've got instigators out there that are doing that, and then they're going and doing that. And so these are all being created, but there's always two sides. And that's what I'm talking about. Even though there's this bad stuff happening, on the good side, the flip side, that is a evacuation code. That is a move out of here. This isn't a safe place. Everybody go inland, go inland. But there's going to be resistance by some people, because they are not here to go to that. They're here to go home or go somewhere else. And so that is where there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are going to be leaving. But it's just going to be really sad and traumatic to the rest of us. And it can be going this weekend. This weekend is when that preacher guy or whatever, I told my mom, I said, shit's about to go down, because that guy, whoever that, I said, I think he's a religious guy, and he keeps saying predictions, and he said the one about Donald's a thing, and then he also said the one accurately about what was going to happen in Vegas and Louisiana at the same time. And he got that one accurately, and he's the one who's saying that this weekend, it's either today or tomorrow, I think, is this 10-city attack thing. And which could be, because it's Friday night, it could be like leading us into the RIOTS like they did before. And so we could be going into that situation. My stomach's growling, by the way. And so we could be going into that situation where, because that would be promoted entirely to a lot of people, and to devastation and stuff, because that's all they're there to do. And there's already a bunch of arrests going. Like, they're arresting, like, really bad people. Just like he said, there's some really bad people here. Yeah, really bad. And they've been letting them do these crimes. Like one guy who keeps RAPI, all these different people, just let him out. It goes again, goes again, goes again. So he's gotten taken. There's a whole bunch. I heard somebody doing a whole thing about who's been got, and going over their record and stuff. They're like, there's bad, he wasn't shitting. And so and our government is like, wants them to do these things to us, and they keep letting it back out. Just like I talked about, these informants who get to go out and just keep killing and killing and killing, and nobody's doing anything. and the people who are being affected by it are trying to stop it, and they're trying to go up against the cops, and the cops don't do shit because it's a license to kill. The cops got license to kill. The cops are so corporate owned. There's so much on the script. They're just, I mean, they're so caught up in their own ego and wanting to boss us around that they don't even know how stupid they are, how ignorant, and that they're puppets for these people. So everybody's gonna have stuff to face, man. I'm telling you. And so let me think. So all these different people will be going at once. These different places are to push the people who are here to move forward. It's to push them into places that will be more safe, I think. And there's going to be more stuff. Like he's about to go in on the housing situation and stuff. And so it should start exposing a lot of stuff. And what drives me crazy is when I see these economic people talking about like, yeah, well, we need the dollar to really make a comeback and stuff. It's like, you guys don't have a clue what the fuck's going on. Not a goddamn clue. Y'all are part of the problem, and you're just out there, come on, dollar bill, y'all, let's go. It's like, no, we don't want anything to do with their dollar bill, y'all. We want to be free. That is their trap, and we don't need it. And that is, and we need to shuffle towards like the gold, solid metal, solid things that we are exchanging, because they have just got us trapped in this fucking money vacuum system, and it's all bullshit, and it's all this fiat fucking bullshit. So that has to go, and it's all with the maritime and stuff. So anyways, you got so many people out there, they're trying to talk about current events, don't even fucking have a clue what the fuck they're talking about. It's so crazy. And so much of this stuff has got to keep going and falling apart. And I mean, I don't know. It's like a gentle, to me, this is like they're trying to gently like lay it all out there for you. Just gently go. But I still say there's going to be something dramatic that's going to come up from left field. Something that's going to be like shocking. And, maybe it is going to be, earthquakes, volcanoes or something. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be this war or something that's going to break out, if that's going to go down this weekend. But in the star alignments, whatever goes down, it brings us to where we want to go. And that's what you got to keep remembering. These are all the steps that we take to get to where we want to go. There's no getting away from where we're going. We're going to the age of Aquarius, and we're going into this new state of being, of peace and love and unity and stuff, not this slavery and hierarchy and every man's out for himself, dog eat dog world. We're moving out of that and moving into something else. But you got to let go of your dog eat dog parts. You got to let go of your ego, your hierarchy, and trying to be better than everybody else, because that is not necessary. And so that is the part where you got to do your healing and facing yourself and stuff. But that is where we are going. I better start wrapping it up, because I don't even know how long it's gonna take to fucking. So yesterday, when it got to be like 3 hours, and I went into the T-Mobile thing, the T-Mobile guy started giving me this whole thing. For one thing, I didn't have my license with me, so he couldn't look at my account. Then, because I was like, I need to increase my data or something. And so then he checked my phone speed, and he said, oh no, it's going fast. That's faster than, it's going 221. And I said, well, it's not downloading as a video. He said, well, how long's the video? I said, 1 hour and 8 minutes. He goes, that's really long. That's going to take forever. And then I said, the problem out here. And he said, well, that's because there's too many people on one tower. Okay. And then he said the reason it's going so slow is because YouTube doesn't have the bandwidth to accept it, because they probably have too many people downloading at the same time. And that's why it's going so slow. Has nothing to do with anything else. And so I was like, I was like, that doesn't fly with me. I said, well, technology is not as good as what they say, apparently. And I had to go. My phone's dead now. And so couldn't keep downloading it here or there in town, because my phone's dead now. And so I had to start heading back. And I waited, I think it was at like 68% or something. I think when I got here, it was like, no, maybe I left, it was 70%. Yeah, it was, I think when I got here, it was like 80% or something. So it must have been at 76%, something like that. And, so it had been 3 hours, and now my phone's dead. So then I had to come back here and plug my phone in and stuff. I didn't have anything. I seriously thought I was going to be gone like a half hour. And then, bring it in. And so it was like, when I came in, it was like at 82% or something, 82 or 84%. That took from 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning until 7:30 at night to download the rest of that. Which tonight I was thinking maybe I should try this tonight. So I'll do this video. Then at night when everybody's going to bed and the TVs and stuff are off, because I think her things drain so much or something. I was thinking maybe I'll try and see if it will download at night and just see. So I'm just going to try it and see. And I looked at my bills and stuff. There's no way I can get that Starlink until the beginning of March. So I got to do this for the next few weeks. And, but the thing is when he says like, it all has to do with YouTube being able to accept it. Well, that's not what I had found. Because when I was on Comcast, it could take so fucking long. I couldn't believe it. Then when I went on Ziply, it was done in 15 minutes. And then over here, when I've been at my mom's and visiting, you know, it will go and I'll download and it will just be going and going. And it would be like 2%. Then I go into town. Like if I went to my daughter's, when I was going to my daughter's and stuff, then it would go real quick. Well, how is that? That should show right there. It's not YouTube. It's the service. And for him to say, oh, well, it's just too many people on this one. Well, you go into the town where it's even more densely populated and you get better service. So the more service that's around you, the more it pushes your stuff. But anyways, this public Wi-Fi is nonsense. And I went and signed in at Starbucks. I couldn't believe it. We sat there and just took like 10 minutes to go 1%. So yeah, that's all of these ones, these public, it's like you got to find a pocket where there's a lot of action going between the webs or something. I don't know. Luckily, things are going to be changing. I don't know. Maybe they're going to give us all Starlink or something. I don't know. But things are going to be changing, and we're going to be going into a much more efficient time, much more higher technology. But we got to go through some shit to get there, because all of this stuff has to be exposed. So, because there's people who can't accept it. Like it has to play out a certain way for their minds to be able to unravel and go into it. Otherwise, we would have more glitching, I guess. More of these people, like, it's so weird too, because I feel like so many people, like you talk to them, and it's just it's very robotic. It's very, it's just like zombie land or something. Just like my neighbor, like he hasn't said anything now, probably because I hurt his feelings. By like, what do you want me to do? But like, honestly, like, what do you want me to do? Hundreds of miles away. But that in the morning, like, because I looked at the thing again, and he had said, your lights are on. And then sent another message, just thought you should know. Okay. Okay, so thanks for the information. It's like, what the hell? And then I said, go turn them off then. And that's the same thing the neighbor said. If they're bothering him, why doesn't he go turn them off? It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's like people are not thinking things through. It's just like half a thought. And then somebody come and complete my thought for me. It's like I'm halfway there. It's like, and I don't know if it's the chemicals. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's just, but I know everything is going to start flipping and things are going to start really shifting. But some people maybe are, you know, it's hard to say, like, where there's a lot of people who are like aged and zombied and just like not doing well, that think like that they're going to come back from that. That may just be their ending to the storyline. They may be just like, I'm out, God, I'm going new places, new horizons, and they're out of this reality. And but some will have come back. Some will come back from the whole aging thing and really, you know, go towards their health again and find themselves. So, I don't know. There's just a lot going on here. There's a lot playing out. You just got to keep riding the wave. Some of the waters are choppy. Some of them are so calm that it's aggravating. It's just like it's a storm. It's a storm of events. It's a storm of energy. And everything is leading us to this big dramatic change. This is drastic change on multiple levels. And this is for your orb soul. And this is for your human being, because now we get to play these characters for hundreds of years. We get to carry on and continue playing out these characters' existence, these lives. And so, anyways, there's just a lot going on. And just keep that in mind. And I better really get going, because he couldn't believe hour and 8 minutes. That's gonna take forever. It's an hour and 15 now. So, I mean, when I had the Ziply, fuck, I was appreciating it, but man, I just didn't realize, like, everything is so temporary in life. I am telling you, good things, bad things, everything is temporary. That's what, that's what gets me through this. And then don't kid yourself. Like, don't sit here and think like I just am all fucking calm all the time. Like, I get aggravated as fuck. I get backed in a corner when they've got me all wedged in a corner. When I just come and sit down and somebody wants to go back out and I don't have my fenced yard anymore. Like, there's a lot of aggravation. There's a lot of stuff that is just like, oh my God. And I'm just going around mumbling and grumbling to myself. Motherfucking shit. Like, I'm so fucking ready for change. And like I said, this has been going on for fucking like a decade almost for me. So this is like dragging ass. I am so fucking ready for some change. I have gone through so much loss, so much. It's like, oh my God, I'm ready to go through the door. I'm ready to see where we're going. I'm ready for the good stuff to come, man. So, let's look at my tooth again. It's so trippy too, because that dark spot is so tiny now. And it is just all of this, it's just healing. So it really does heal. And so, it's up to you what you do with your teeth. If you want to go in for their barbaric, archaic fucking practices and have them drill you with fucking power tools and give you shots of fucking stuff that hits into your heart and shit. Like, fucking adrenaline in the Novocaine, it kicks my ass every time. I start having palpitations and shit. Fuck that. So, anyways, but out of all my blah, 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 all the stuff I'm sitting here rattling off and saying, I'm telling you, this place is all about your soul. This is all about the orbs. It's all about the orbs. So, and it's about the orbs life. We're all about the orbs life. And so everything else is an illusion. And just remember what you're doing here as an orb. You're trying to learn how to love everybody. You're trying to learn how to love yourself. And then you got to learn how to love everybody. And then you got to figure out how to have a good day, because it's totally up to you. It's your attitude, I'm telling you. So, anyways, we'll see how it all plays out. And I will try and download this tonight, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. And then I'll go into town in a couple days and do that, because I was like, well, I may as well go back to that was an hour and a half for 2 videos. Yesterday it was 3 hours and I wasn't even part way. And it was like absurdity. It was so absurd. So anyways, and just keep on trying, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.